The most misunderstood traits of Build 42 Unstable are fast and slow metabolism. That misunderstanding is not your fault. Knowledge of the nutrition system in Project Zomboid is as rare as antimatter. For example, the hunger moodle has almost nothing to do with weight gain and loss. It doesn't help that the tooltips are classic Zomboid vagueness either. I'll explain what these negative traits do in context of the whole system, as well as how to correctly gain weight. Quotes around that correctly if you can't hear it in my voice. First of all, fast and slow metabolism are underweight and overweight from Build 41, except they give you 2 trait points instead of 6 like they did before. The weight change part of the trait is not permanent, and you can lose that part of the debuff fairly easily. Decreasing your fitness, however, is a long-term problem. In Build 42 Unstable, higher fitness for faster stamina regen has extra value as stamina usage in combat was increased. Mine, you will likely be stuck behind the muscle strain wall unless you survive a long time or make a combat-focused build. Depending on your starting fitness, it could take hours of exercise to level it back up to normal. Anything beyond level 5, and I wouldn't expect it to level up at all during normal gameplay. You can work off the fitness loss by working your butt off, it's just not easy or fast. Now for the new part of these traits. There's an additional effect that stays with you permanently. It modifies the amount of calories your character needs to maintain in order to gain weight within certain windows of body weight. I believe most people view slow metabolism as a permanent buff due to this. In my opinion, that depends on your grasp of the nutrition system and how to feed yourself. Calorie-dense foods are far easier to acquire in Build 42 if you actually focus on them, instead of looting another 10 cans of carrots for a total of negative calories. Yeah, you probably spend more calories walking the cans back to your base than they have. Let's talk about walking. It obliterates your calories. The maximum amount of calories you can have is 3,700. Eating any more beyond this point wastes some. The lowest amount of calories you can have is negative 2,200. Yes, you can go into negative calories, and that is the part of the nutrition system that throws a wrench in the plans of players who haven't researched what is going on. Walking is the most common form of travel in the game, and it is the least efficient. It's more calorie efficient to travel a long distance by running and resting back to full stamina than it is to walk it. Walking is burning calories at a rate of like 2 per second. Because of this, you will be spending the majority of time at the negative calorie cap unless you eat fish, butchered meat, junk food, or butter every day. For example, a default no traits character at 80 weight needs to maintain above 1,000 calories to gain weight. A character with fast metabolism at the same weight needs to maintain above 1,800 calories. A slow metabolism character needs to maintain above 700 calories to gain weight. If I am at 80 weight and want to gain up to 84, assuming I'm starting at negative 2,200 calories, I'll need to eat 3,200 calories just to begin gaining weight and maintain above 1,000 in order to continue gaining weight at about 1 pound a day. Based on my testing, standing still for 24 hours uses about 1,300 calories. So I need 5,200 calories plus the 3,200 initial calories to gain those 4 pounds. I need more calories to make up for my increasing weight, as the amount of calories you need increases and decreases with your weight, but I'll ignore that. 8,400 calories for about 2 hours of gameplay before I'd have to gain weight again. Mind, this is not the ideal weight gain scenario, nor does it reflect a more typical scenario. I walked in circles to come up with about 280 calories used per hour of walking with that same default character. 6,720 calories a day, although walking the entire day is unlikely. I'll go with 12 hours of walking for 3,360 calories a day, which would match someone trying to gain weight while still playing normally, and the total cost comes out to 16,640 calories, minus 300 for your slow metabolism trait. The point I'm making here is that the benefit of slow metabolism is such a tiny number in the grand scheme of things, particularly if we're taking advantage of farming, fishing, or trapping, all of which will supply us with more calories than we could ever need as a single player. Before I talk about using fats or carbs to boost your weight gain, I want to highlight the absurdity I just skipped over. You can eat almost 10,000 calories in a day without gaining weight. If you start at the minimum and walk all day, you can miss a requirement to gain weight while eating every couple minutes. The way the system is set up ends in a trap. Eating food as you find it wastes calories compared to holding on to that food in order to eat it all at once. If I had to quickly fix it, I'd change the minimum calorie cap to 0 and have the player gain weight when it's above 0 and lose weight when it's at 0. Being able to maintain your weight in-game has almost no benefit when you realize just how much calorie counting it requires. It's easier to take advantage of faster weight gain and slow weight loss. Weight gain has an additional mechanic I call double ups. This up arrow turns into 2. With 2 arrows, you will gain about 3 pounds per day. No additional calories required. This would save us about 3,500 calories in the previous 4-pound weight gain scenario. You activate this buff by maintaining above 400 carbs or 400 lipids. No, it does not add the two together. You cannot have 200 carbs and 200 lipids. One of them has to be above 400. By the way, lipids is fat on the tooltips in game, so I will be calling it fat, as discussing mechanics with a name normal players never see is... The most brutal part of this is that these secondary nutrition stats have a minimum cap of -500, which means you will very likely need to save up 900 fat worth of food the first time you try this mechanic out. The only saving grace is that fats and carbs burn slowly, so it's not impossible to maintain a positive balance once you know about the mechanic. Now for the correct way to gain weight. Let's say you hate counting calories in a video game, so you want to ignore them as much as possible. Here's what you do. Turn nutrition off in the sandbox options. Jokes aside, that is a viable option. For those who want to deal with the mechanic as it exists, you will want to give yourself the nutritionist trait until you have a good understanding of the carbs, fat, and calories in your food. This can be as simple as starting with an additional 4 trait points in the custom sandbox mode, or booting up in debug mode to give yourself the trait. Once you do that, you will want to save up high calorie food and anything with lots of fat or carbs. Make sure to pick fats or carbs, not both. Sticks of butter don't rot, and you will have plenty of it if you can milk cows or sheep. Running a ranch is easy mode food in Build 42. Milk for weight gain and chicken eggs for weight loss. Fishing or trapping can replace ranching fairly easily, but you may need to start with proper traits for the recipes. The food you can get from them is so calorie dense, you will want to find empty food to deal with your hunger on most days, like foraging berries, shrooms, or veggies. Wait until your weight is down to 75 and eat high calorie food until you see the up arrow. Now you can start eating high fat or carb food. The reason you do it in this order is so you can see when you have eaten enough. Without the up arrow from gaining weight, you cannot see the double up. This is one of those things you will get better at with experience. Once you are gaining weight, you can waste time at your base by crafting, reading, and otherwise focusing on not moving much. You could also drive around a ton in a car, as that counts as sitting. Maybe explore a new town to mark down survivor houses for later looting. After 3 days of maintaining your weight gain, you should be at 84 weight. Going to 85 weight and above will hit you with the overweight debuff. Try to avoid that, but it's not that big of a deal. If you forgot to stop eating in time, you can run in circles to burn calories faster. Assuming you play on 1 hour days and only fast forward through 20 minutes on average between sleeping and other reasons, that's 6 hours of gameplay before you need to care about your weight again. Thanks for watching to the end, and I hope you have a good day.